Welcome to my first makeup tutorial. This is for professional stage makeup or any kind of stage makeup. This is specifically for ballet, chorus, and for the party scene in Nutcracker. So this model is Hannah Morgan. Right now I'm just prepping the face. I'm putting on actually 3 different colors of foundation. I use RCMA, it's a professional makeup artist palette. It's 50% pigment, so you get a lot for your money. I just barely put a little bit on there, and now it's blending all over her face. I've got a moist beauty blender, and I'm going around the areas of the face, getting the light areas around the, the center of the face first, then moving to the outside of the face where I've applied darker foundations. I'm just putting a little bit of loose powder, pressing it a little bit under the eyes just to catch some fallout later. I want a little bit of loose powder there just because I can go in and brush it away. I'm just smoothing out some areas that needed to be blended, applying a little bit more powder with that beauty blender. And here I am going in with an Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette, giving a little bit of contour to her face. She doesn't really need it, but for stage, we want a little bit more drama. And this is going to be a look that we want, a little bit more drama. I'm prepping her eyelid with MAC Painterly. It's an eyeshadow primer and just a general primer you can put anywhere. I really like this because it evens out the skin tone, but it gives a little bit of color. And now I'm coming in with a neutral shade from the, I believe this is also the Anastasia Beverly Hills Renaissance palette. And I'm just applying a little bit of color just to kind of create my crease area, focusing on the outer corners of the eyes and to widen up her face. She has really big eyes anyway, but from the audience, I just want them to pop. So this is an example of a really, really dramatic eye. Putting a little bit of a, I think it's called Garnet from the Lorac palette. And I'm gonna blend that in. Not really focusing on perfect blending right now because after all, this is stage, and the more you blend, the less it's gonna show up. So I don't need it to be perfect like for an event or a wedding. I really just want color. I'm going in with a red tone from the Renaissance palette. This is a matte red. I think it's called Love Letter. And I'm just applying that on the outer corner of the eye, not being too careful, just probably depositing color. Looking at her eyes while they're open, it's gonna help me to see the shape you'll see with the final product. This is kind of a crease makeup, but I'm really just trying to wing it out. So I'm not gonna focus as much on the eyeliner, more on the eyeshadow. This was actually a sample color I got from Urban Decay. I don't remember the name of it. It's like Firelight or something, but it's an iridescent peach kind of magenta color. Really cool as a transition because I'm going for drama, so I don't mind having a really shimmery transition. I think I'm going in and blending a bit, blending the crease. Gonna go for a lot of smoke with this look. So I'm just tapping and trying not to remove too much product, trying not to get too much fallout on her cheek. But we can always go back and fix that if we need to. Continuing to blend, we want a really velvety look. So even though there's a bit of shimmer, I want the shadow to be as smooth as I can. I'm going back with a MAC eyeshadow. It's called Blanc Type. It's great, it's my favorite to go back and clean up areas of the face, anywhere you want to bring back the light. So I'm focusing on the inner corner, brightening the outer corner, creating that sharp edge on the outer corner, lightening a little bit on the inside of the eyes, dusting off any fallout that may have fallen down there. Going in with a dark kind of shimmery color on the bottom instead of using eyeliner, because I want to create a bit more drama. And from far away, liner sometimes can disappear, but having a bit of a gradient on the bottom can really help. It's about knowing when you want to put a hard line and when you don't, because sometimes a hard line is really desirable. I didn't want this to be too graphic though. Shading the outer corner of her eyes. I believe it's the same color. It's a dark color from the Anastasia palette. I think it's the dark brown. I don't remember the name of it. Kind of feathering that out. Now I'm going in with, I believe this is a loose pigment by Ulta. I use this a lot, especially when I do musical theater and opera, because it does bring that Disney quality to the face. It really works from far away. A lot of highlights don't show up in stage light, and that one is really great. It's a loose pigment. It's almost pure white silver. Putting a little bit of blusher on the face. Really just tapping it onto the corner of the cheekbone. Filling in a little bit with another, I'm really on an Anastasia Beverly Hills kick right now. This is their dark brown brow. I like the one end is the actual pencil, the other end is a spoolie, so you can really smooth it out. Really trying to bring balance back to the face because I put awful lot of shadow, and for me I find that if you widen and darken the brow a little bit, it can bring the balance back to the face. Hannah has really nice natural brows, but for all the drama we created, we needed to go back and put a little bit more. Scrubbing in a little bit of Tarte eyeliner. It's Amazonian clay. It's really cool. It's really nice carbon black, really easy to use. I like gel liners because they're more forgiving. You can layer them and you don't have the problem of smearing. It just, when it sets, it's set. And I can use more of a paintbrush technique. I'm not very good with liquid liners, so I really prefer to have resistance with my product. So I'm putting a little bit more in the bottom lash line just to create a little bit more of that sharpness. And really thinking about, in theater we talk about a 30 to 60 foot rule. You think about where your audience is primarily sitting, and we have to get them to be able to see what all of our work has to be able to show from that distance. Applying a set of false lashes, I usually deposit the product on my hand and drag the lash through so that there's a little bit on this actual strip, but there's a little bit on the lashes themselves that helps to stay on a little bit longer. Really just trying to curl those lashes up. Press them up while they're drying. It really opens up the eye. And just kind of dusting a little bit off of the fallout off of her face, and there's the finished product. I'm calling this the Garnet look, Garnet stage. I don't know. It's very good for holiday shows. You can see it turned out really well. I hope you enjoyed this, and tune in. We'll be doing some other looks, playing with different stage basics. Thank you.